you will not hear story. You will never lose that money. Instead, you make something small on top. That's what fixed deposit is. Commercial paper is like that. Then there is the one that you have the potential for capital appreciation, like stocks, or you go and buy gold or something. It can go up or it can come down, but it may not be drastic. You cannot suddenly lose 90% of the money you put inside. It will unlikely happen. Even in our stock market, I think there's a rule where a stock cannot lose more than 5% or 10% of its value any day. In any day. So that thing is built in there to protect the wealth and the value of investors. So those are more manageable risk. The next level after that is something like venture capital. You have a smart guy that wants to start a business. You invest in his business. 5 years later, he sells that business at 10 times what you give him. You make 10 times your money. It's more risky because many businesses fail. You have venture capital. Then you have speculative assets. Something like crypto is speculative. A crypto can be at a certain price today. By tomorrow, it has crashed to 90-something%, losing 90-something% of its value. Forex is like that. You are trading against institutional investors. People who, if you see the kind of models, now that we even have AI, that means we are joking. People who have all kinds of models that are trading on their behalf. And you think with your small $500 or something, you can win them. So I'm not saying these things are bad, but when somebody, if you look at it in terms of risk, starting a business is less risky than getting involved in speculative assets. If you build a business and eventually have spare cash that you want to play with, if you look at investment portfolios of investment banks and investment companies, they dedicate an amount to those speculative assets, even crypto, they do it. But they'll give it 2% of the entire portfolio, between 2 to 5%. So that if anything happens, the most they lose is 5% of their money.
And that is true.
But here, you have somebody liquidate all the money that they have and put all of it. And when you ask him, you say he's a forex trader. There's nothing wrong with that. But do you understand the risk class that you're playing in? Do you know that you don't play this kind of game without wearing bulletproof vest, some kind of financial bulletproof? You are playing with all your money. So if something happens, you cash out. And the sequence is, if you are going to take risk, anything outside a job, start a business, it will take you some time. You build up capital. With that capital, you put it in things that are, real estate is even less risky than all these other speculative. Gradually that way. Then when you're able to get to a point where you can bring out a small percentage, because sometimes when people hear that Bitcoin that used to be $10 is now 10,000, they'll be like, you feel like you're missing out. If you're that kind of person, take a small proportion of your of what you have, put it in there, so that if anything happens, if you make a lot of money, you too can go out and brag and say I made a lot of money from Bitcoin. If it doesn't work, it doesn't wipe you out. So marathon, and this thing I just said, it applies across life. Marriage, marathon, not a sprint. If you have a job, you want to grow on the job, marathon, not a sprint. You want to start a business and make money, marathon, not a sprint. Everything is like that.